Welcome, everybody. It is Crypto Moose, and it's time to get loose. Mitchell Bouchard, your crypto and NFT investor. What we're going to do on this episode is talk about Bitcoin. I want to go over the Bitcoin rainbow chart, and ultimately, we've reached over $80,000, almost $81,000. So we're going to dive right into it. We're going to talk about why we are here right now, and obviously, most of you are feeling it as well. We are entering a bullish momentum on our way to 100K. So that's very likely. So nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. Invest at your own risk. And of course, with everything meld and other projects going on, I've been learning myself that I have to be even more heavy into the top layer ones as well as just Bitcoin. So can be boring, but let's dive right into it. So Bitcoin. Today we are Sunday, November 10th, 2024. Bitcoin is at $80,900. Ethereum, $3,200. It is up 30%, which is crazy, right? For, Ethereum, a lot of people were thinking when it dropped back down, I thought it was like, around $900. That was a good entry point. So same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin got down to pretty low. Let's see exactly where it was at not that long ago. So on the year, it was under 37,000. I thought it was like 20 something. Wow. So in 2022, we got down to 17,000 roughly. So, for those of you that were accumulating Bitcoin, amazing. I think that's great. So one of the main driving forces, the driving force, is Trump's victory. So basically, you're going to see Republicans, and in fact, a lot of the US government starting to make plans for crypto. Even yesterday, it was announced by Charles himself that Cardano, Charles himself and the IOHK team, they are going to be working with the Trump administration, which is a big deal. So this is massively bullish for both ADA, Cardano, and the entire blockchain community as a whole, especially in the US. So that is fantastic. So here, even on Forbes, which is pretty cool, Bitcoin reaches record 80,000 boosted by Trump's win. So we saw once the numbers were coming in, once people realized that Trump beat Kamala, that Bitcoin just started pumping, right? I believe it got 2 all-time highs during the election. You guys can comment down below if it was just after. But we definitely saw that. So obviously, Trump is going to back the US dollar, but he's open to crypto, right? And the fact that they're working on all these things, they're working with Charles now, is pretty cool. So me personally, when I was in Vegas, I went to, was it Rare Evo? Yeah, it was Rare Evo in Vegas. And RFK, Robert Kennedy, he spoke with Charles at the event. So Charles has had all these ties with very important people. So he's been traveling, he's been advocating for crypto for many years now. So we're not just in ADA because, we're an ADA nerd. There's a lot of potential partnerships in the future, and we're seeing that. We're seeing that with Bitcoin OS, etc. So, guys, Bitcoin at 80,000, just crushing it, man. It would have been better if I was holding more Bitcoin, but I do have some, so it still makes it fun, to get a little pump. In terms of other prices, Solana's doing well. Dogecoin is ripping. USDC is not depegging. XRP's up 22%. So we could see something big there. Not sure. But ultimately, guys, as Bitcoin just grows and balloons in price, you are going to see alt season. I don't know exactly when, but you will see alts go nuts. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Me personally, I'm still very bullish on cornucopias as a game and the team. What else? We got NVL, Nuvola, Digital. I think they have a lot of potential. and several others that we'll be talking about on the channel. But let's focus up on Bitcoin a little bit. So here's the Bitcoin rainbow chart. And ultimately what this is a chart that kind of gives you a visual representation of where Bitcoin has been in the past and how it relates to the halving. So every 4 years, the remaining amount of Bitcoin that are left to be mined, which is like less than 1 million now, I believe. When you run your, how do I put this? When you are mining Bitcoin, right, and you're verifying transactions, you get a little bit of the remaining supply. The amount of Bitcoin that you get rewarded are going to be cut in half. So for example, let's say it was 3.25 Bitcoin that you would get per block reward. Now it's going to be 1.25. Then it's going to be, cut in half. So 0.62, 0.3, 0.015, you know it goes. So it's going to become exponentially harder to earn more of the remaining supply of Bitcoin. So it makes it kind of fun and also adds a lot of scarcity to Bitcoin. So this is where we're at. And typically, every 4 years, that's why 2024 is such a big deal for crypto. You're going to see Bitcoin pump and reach all-time highs. So typically a year after, right? So if we look at 2016, man, that would have been great. $700 BTC. So $710 for Bitcoin. I remember this. I didn't own like anything. So basically, yeah, a year or two, anywhere, it depends. I think the cycles kind of get shorter. But typically, let's call it a year or two after the halving, you're going to see Bitcoin reach all-time highs. And then it's going to dump. So same thing, 2020, right? We saw Bitcoin go from, let's call it $10,000. Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy. Yeah, then it went to 51,000. Then it dumps again, goes down to where we were already looking at. Let's call it $16,000, $18,000. And then we're going to see a breakout at the halving. So right now, Bitcoin seems high. It seems like it's crushing it. But I believe we're going to go much higher. Don't be surprised if Bitcoin goes over 150K per token. It seems high. But yes, that's when you'll know that people are overly excited, right? That's going to be the FOMO phase. That's going to be the seriously sell phase. So you have up here, and if you guys want, just go to blockchaincenter.net. Just type in the Bitcoin rainbow chart. So right now we are still we're in the buy zone. We are in the buy zone according to the rainbow chart. So if we were to estimate based on this chart, we'd be, we could be looking at, let's assume we only get to the HODL phase. We could be looking at $250,000 Bitcoin. And I think that's being pretty reasonable, kind of fair to say. But then of course, after that, we could very likely come back down. But are we going to go back down to 50K again? Are we going to go back down to 40K? I don't believe so. It's definitely going to be less volatile in the future as more people accumulate Bitcoin, more people know about it. Once there's actually laws in place and, we have a lot more, in terms of alts especially, right? You have all-purpose blockchains. Once those have more clarity on what they can build, what you can do, in us as investors, what we can get in on, that's when you're going to see less volatility. And it may not come back. We don't know. I believe we'll see crashes for sure. We will see Bitcoin go to all-time highs, crash like crazy, probably 30-40%. It's possible. But 30-40% down from 250,000, we may not even get back to 80K. I don't know. I'm speculating. So here's another chart. This is the new one. So of course, this is the original chart. But what I wanted to point out here too is that it's pretty dang accurate per cycle. It's very cool that just mathematically, the rainbow chart's been able to track Bitcoin. I just think it's pretty cool. So here's a new one. This is, more of an updated version. So assuming that we get into, let's say a couple of months from now, maybe into 2025, let's say 5 months into 2025, if we hit orange, yeah, 150K Bitcoin. So I wouldn't wait for Bitcoin to go to 300,000, hit a quarter mil. You'd probably want to be looking to, not even sell off, but don't be holding a lot of alts in that time, right? And then again, if and when Bitcoin dumps again, you could get down to 50, 60K according to the updated chart. So you got these updated charts. I think it's really cool, very interesting. So yeah, guys, if you guys want, check out our other videos. Charles launched a video. It's called I'm Back. And in this video specifically, we're going to be doing a video that's coming out real soon on the channel. I want to talk about this. But basically, Charles is working with the new administration. So this is a big deal. So I'm really excited about that. On top of that, guys, we have a link tree. If you do own some Bitcoin, guys, get a hardware wallet. Protect your crypto. So you guys can pick up a 2-card, 3-card set. There's also the Bitcoin Limited version. There are these cool pastel type cards. Lots of different options. I also have been enjoying my Tangent Ring. So I do have a little bit of Solana and Bitcoin on this. And you also have backup cards. So with that being said, guys, use code Moose. Save 10% off on your Tangems. We also have links to tons of other stuff. That being said, guys, I think we're going to go to all-time highs. Comment down below. What is your price prediction? All-time highs for Bitcoin 2025. Cheers.